Good morning. Welcome to day 67. Um, Today's kind of special. I think in 2 miles I'm going to hit the 600-mile mark. It's going to be pretty momentous. It's yeah, not as good as hitting 500 because the numbers. It's all these mental games. I think. Also going through states and whatnot, which is I think part of why people get what's called the Virginia blues because they're in Virginia so long, seemingly not making progress. But the mileage counters keep going up, the 100 miles. And of course, for the European or non-American folks, I should say, they count in kilometers, so they get to celebrate it more often, as I like to say. Anyway, but yeah, today, well, yesterday was good. Definitely filled up with water. I was carrying out from the last shelter 4 liters of water, and I was talking about it, and I was reminding myself I should show and not tell. I'm describing the water source, and there's a scoop there provided by the ATC. But I don't often take my video camera down to go get water, but maybe I should do that more often. That was one source that was sort of like, oh, this is it. But anyway, I got water out of there. It took a while, and I filled up, and I'm still working off of it this morning. I got 2 liters in the back here, and that's gonna be it for most of the day, I think. But today is a really nice day. It's actually perfect hiking weather now. It's a little chilly, cloudy, it's overcast, and I think chance of thunderstorms all day, especially in the afternoon. But yeah, my plan for today is to get to the modest miles today, just 12 miles. So I can't really call it a neuro, but it is kind of like a neuro because I'm gonna head into a hostel, Weary Feet Hostel, and then pitch my tent there. Apparently they have dinner and breakfast. They make you dinner, they make you breakfast. You gotta pay extra, of course, but so that'll be good. And I think it's been a while since I've done laundry. I think it's just time. This place is just point 0.2 miles off the AT too, so it makes it pretty convenient. Let me flip this around so you don't have to stare here, stare at my mug here. But yeah, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Yesterday I did about just barely under 13 miles, which is in my original range. I've been trying to do 13 to 15, which I think is a good acceptable range. It's not going to push it. If I can do that consistently, that's what I'm trying to get back to. But keep getting all these hurdles. I got kind of sick, and then my water filter busted, and now I'm dealing with I think it's what's it called? It's tendonitis in uh, my left foot above my big toe. Anyway, here's my little campsite here. You can see the little fire ring there. This wasn't on any maps or anything. I appreciate these little sites, especially when I'm carrying water, because I can sort of go and crash out earlier, a little earlier. There was actually a campsite up here I was aiming for that I'll cross in a bit, but I was just not feeling it. But yeah, I've been dealing with tendonitis. Uh, that's something that maybe I shouldn't have, but I kind of pushed through. I believe I'm going this way. I got to double check. But yeah, I've been struggling with that, but I did kind of push through that yesterday. But I was just feeling pain the whole day, and I was reading online and whatnot, and ended up taking my third Advil of the entire trip to reduce the inflammation. And hopefully, yeah, and it did significantly recover a lot overnight. We'll see. Hopefully, I don't aggravate it again today. I think it might have been from stepping on a rock in a really awkward way. Oh, how did this happen? Just look behind me and just had to look up. But anyway, kind of working with that today. And yeah, no, I think that's about it. I'm looking forward to the hostel. Get there in the afternoon, the evening. And yeah, get a little reset, get some more resupply, and then keep going after that. Anyway, onward, onward. I just passed a marking for mile 600, and I did a little live stream there, which I've never tried before, and I wasn't expecting anyone to tune in. but I did tell my family. Looks like they tuned in. And I did it mostly for James, my nephew. James, if you're watching, hope you enjoyed that. Sounds like you guys did. But I saw your messages in the chat, and yeah, it was a fun little break there. And a little spoiler now that you're watching this video, I think that 600-mile marker was made in previous years because it's not exactly at 600. It's a 0.2 miles or like a quarter mile south of this year's 600. So that's it probably doesn't matter that much anyway. But that's the thing with like the mileages, they change every year because like the AT gets rerouted, and yeah, there's little changes every year. So it's kind of funny up north. They have multiple halfway marker point. There's really nice signs that people have built, and they put them for like a few miles. It says you are halfway, and then you hike a little more. You are halfway again. So it's kind of like that. But anyway, I think I've now passed this year's official 600-mile mark. So that's nice. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And we'll try to live stream again later. I know not everyone was able to get it to work. That's okay. It's the first time I'm trying it, so I'm surprised I got it to work. Yeah, and if I can do it too, because I think that was very rare that I have 5G reception in the middle of the trail there. I was just, if you're looking at a map of Virginia there, just west of Mechanicsville, and maybe just north of Bland, Virginia. Bland, I have to say it that way because Bland is like boring, Oregon. I think there's also a Bland in Scotland, isn't there? They must be sister cities. That's for my friend James if he's watching. I don't know if he lives in boring, Oregon. Anyway, that was fun. Yeah, that's nice. 600 is a nice number. And, you know, if I was really feeling good and going at full speed, 700 isn't that far away, actually. It's about a week away if you're going any decent speed. But I haven't been. But anyway, I'll start moaning. There is like reality of the trail setting in. I passed a guy who's going southbound. I don't know if he's slackpacking. I don't know. Yesterday, but he did not look happy. And I asked him how goes it. He said, lots of ups and downs. He had a big toothbrush mustache. But yeah, it's like life, you know. That's what it's about. I think it's definitely part of the perception that they sell you. The people sort of say, yeah, Virginia's flat. Yeah, in elevation. But there's still ups and downs every day. It's just spread out over longer distances. So like the ascent for what would have been 10 miles south of here would, you know, that's now spread out over 15 or maybe 15, 20 miles. I mean, you get a little bit of a break, but not that much. I think that's probably more accurate. So if you're planning to do, I don't know, 2,500, 3,000 feet ascent every day, and doing 10 or 12 miles south of here, so all of a sudden now that you're able to do that same ascent, spread out a little bit, get a few more miles in for sure. Anyway, now I'm yapping here. I think it's good this morning. I hope there's just a chance of thunderstorms, and this afternoon too. But I'm not really worried, and I don't mind if I get rained on really, because it's gonna happen again. But for today especially, I don't mind because I'm going to the hostel. But hopefully I'll be able to dry my shoes out in time. That's the thing I'm most worried about. You could dry your clothes out and everything, but the shoes are hard. Now that is an advantage of trail runners, I think, that most people have. But I got sturdier boots that take longer to dry out. There have been some hostels that have boot warmers that I've definitely used and definitely work. Now that would be nice. I'll look for those. Maybe, well, the hostel's name is Weary Feet Hostel. So maybe they do have, they might be more oriented towards feet and shoes. Probably not, but whatever, we can hope. One can hope, I should say. Okay. Yeah, that's it for now. And onward we go. So I just come uphill up this way, and then usually you come to the top of the mountain and there's a view, but this is the view for Virginia. You kind of can look through the trees a little bit, look back and forth like an owl. Maybe you'll see something. I think I see some hills on the other side, which look tall, which probably means we're gonna go there eventually. And then we're going downhill again. So I think this is where people get frustrated with Virginia. Not really big viewpoints here. I think until you get to what's called the Triple Crown area, which I think is really beautiful, apparently. McAfee Knob, Tinker Cliffs, Dragon's Tooth? I'm not sure what the other one is. Yeah. Anyway, we'll come there eventually, but for now, this is the views that we get. But it's okay. Some people have that as their North Star for hiking, that they want to see the views. It's not really mine, so I'm not entirely disappointed, but it is a little bit of a letdown. It's sort of like, oh, that's it? But at least we get a nice breeze at the top of the ridge here, so I'll take it. That's the reward. And now we're going down, back into the humidity. Anyway, weather's still pretty reasonable though, so I'm hoping it continues to stay like this, even as it warms up later. But I am dripping out a lot of water, which is a little concerning, because I'm not actually sure if I'm gonna try to go for some water at the shelter. I think it might just make sense to push on, and then apparently I'll get to the hostel around 3:30 or 4 or so, which is good timing. So maybe I could just hold out and not have to make that extra trip. I don't know how hard the water is to get at the next shelter here, but yeah, maybe it's not worth it. I got options. Oh, there, you can see a little bit. That's a little bit more. Maybe coming up here. Definitely see down into the valley here now. Yeah, okay. That's okay. It's a lot of farmland. People are also disappointed, but I remember I was hiking in Pennsylvania 7 years ago. We get to a viewpoint, and it's just all farmland, and they're like, what is this? This is boring. I thought it looked beautiful though. Looks like a patchwork quilt of different farms, different crops, different colors down in the valley. But yeah, some people want more. They got more expectations. But that's the cause of all disappointment, expectation. Okay, well, this is the water situation. It is barely trickling. This is what it looked like at that shelter. And down here, I think it's trickling, but I could also see insects, mosquitoes, and things like dancing on top. So probably don't want to drink out of that. But yeah, this is what I've been up against. This is why it won't be so bad if it rains, or when it rains, I should say, because this will start flowing again. But this is pretty sad. So you could scoop from the bottom, I guess, but this is just sad. I don't wanna take a chance. I just gotta keep pressing on. Yeah, I think this is one of the seasonal sources, but it's pretty stagnant. It's pretty still there, so I don't wanna. I'd rather have it from a stream that's flowing, you know? Anyway, oh, I think someone made a little tent site here. It's just learn to recognize it. Just a little flat spot. Must have been when the water was flowing. Technically, you're not supposed to camp so close there because, like, when you gotta go pee or poop or whatnot, like, ideally you're far away from the stream. You don't contaminate it. But anyway, I've done that before. I found but I haven't pooped like close to it, but I've camped close to streams before, just because there's a place there, and do not trace, or do not trace. What's it called? Leave no trace. Says use those existing ones instead of carving out a new one. So, like, okay. Anyway, but yeah, onward. I'm coming to the bottom here, just like normal. Get to the bottom, get to a gap, cross a road, and then go uphill from there. But that should be the last uphill of the day. Basically, after I get that uphill, likely no view, and then go downhill, and then I get to the next gap where the hostel is. So I should get there mid-afternoon, and hopefully before the rain. And I'm planning to tent at the hostel, so most likely I'm gonna get wet there, but I'll try to do better with my tent. I have one more thing I want to adjust to see if it has an effect on the splashback. Yeah, so that will be a good place to test it, because like, if it's just catastrophic and I fail miserably, I can always bail out and go sleep in a bunk in the hostel if they got space. That's kind of a nice place to experiment. That might also be a nice place to do a little tent tour, although awkward because like other people can probably hear me as I'm talking, but whatever. But I know my sister Christine is asking for that, and you know, I'll have extra battery that I can plug in. I don't have to worry about using too much battery for a little tent tour. But that might give you a little insight into, you know, what's the routine for camping. There's another campsite there. It hasn't been used for a while. It's starting to grow up little weeds, it looks like. But it's usable. But yeah, I think it's interesting what goes into getting to camp, setting up, doing sort of hiker chores, and then resting, winding down. Anyway, but yeah, I'm actually feeling pretty good, and I do have tendonitis, and I think I mentioned that, in one foot, around my big toe, my left big toe, but it's not hurting as much as yesterday. I'll see how it feels at the end of today too, but that's a good sign. It's healing. Unfortunately, Fitbit has been telling me I've just been getting terrible sleep the last few nights, although I feel that it's not the case. I don't know what's up with that, but I know I do need some good light sleep and deep sleep. Forget which one, probably both, to, you know, repair muscles and whatnot. Anyway, hopefully I get that. Not too much rain tonight. Hopefully not keeping me up, keeping me awake. It's either that or go inside and listen to the snoring. I'd rather have the rain. Anyway, it's feeling good. I'm grateful for today. But yeah, whether it rains or not, I'm prepared, and I'm okay with whatever scenario. I'll have to apologize. I was editing some videos when I was having that bad day where I broke the water filter, and I was talking. I thought it would help, but I was talking very close to the microphone. The microphone that's built into the camera here, not the Bluetooth microphone that I use, and that would just sounded terrible. So I'm sorry about that, but everything was going crazy that day. So it is what it is. But now I know not to do that. Hopefully this sounds okay. Now let's go onward. There's a deer up ahead here. I don't know if you can see him. Right up here. He's gonna run away. Hey dude, I'm coming through. I see you. Huh. Right by the trail, man. I gotta go past it. I gotta go past there. It's alright, man. He's bowing. He's like the Nara deer. So I'm gonna bow back. Okay. Alright, go back. It's okay, man. I'm just going by the trail here. That's alright. Hey. I'll see you later. I'll see you later. He's very curious. Interesting. I'll see you later, okay? I'll see you later. Bye bye. Okay. Okay, back to eating. I see a white-tailed deer. Back to eating. And I'll be eating in a bit. I think this is the top. It starts going down. And then when I get to the road again, pretty much at the hostel.